Last time on Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Murders, and these murders have been set up by, well, mostly highly intellectual people.
Seesaw effect ropeway, Gonta.
Okay, we're back. I took a quick break from recording. Now we're back. And I had to choose the wrong answer because this thing's timed and I accidentally continued it. But the control panel being damaged is my second guess. My actual second guess.
Maki said she used a knife to try to break the control panel and enter the hangar. But that doesn't make sense, because there's an alarm system on the shutter.
Oh yeah! The alarm should have gone off if someone got close to the shutter.
I was too focused to notice at the time. But now that you mention it, it is odd.
Maybe the sensor just missed her.
Nah, the security there isn't that sloppy. If a shady person got near the shutter, the alarm would have gone off without question.
A shady person.
And why didn't the alarm go off?
Like I told you, this isn't over. There's still a hidden truth to find.
That's right. There must be some kind of reason behind all these oddities. Finding that reason will help us find the hidden truth. Non-stop debate.
I did attempt to enter the hangar. And I tried to destroy the control panel with my knife. At the time, the alarm system didn't go off.
But if you had approached the shutter, the alarm would have activated with 100% certainty.
Maybe it was just broken.
Perhaps it was turned to a special setting?
Or maybe Maki is telling a lie.
The key code?
Did you really try to break the control panel with a knife?
I'm not going to tell any more lies.
Hold on, I need to look at a certain thing. The hangar's front shutter. It's protected by an electric barrier, and if someone approaches it, the alarm system will sound throughout the academy. The alarm can be disabled with their alarm emote. The control panel for the electric barrier is next to the shutter. Is it possible that Kokichi disabled it? It seems like the alarm system itself was working properly. Well, so what can we learn from that?
I did attempt to enter the...
Perhaps it was turned to a special setting?
No, I think I have the right thing, just not the right one. I know he suggested, but I don't even know what kind of special setting he'd have. Maybe the problem did have to do with the alarm itself.
I was wrong!
I made a mistake. Because in my mind, the only thing I can think of is that Kokichi turned it off, since he has the remote. When used, it scatters particles that interfere with electromagnetic waves, rendering electronic communication and sensors unusable. Lasts for about 2 hours and covers an area of about 50 yards. Each can only be used once. Of the 3 that were made, Kokichi had 2 and Maki had 1. And Maki used the one to get into the hangar the next morning. Kokichi had 2, which means he could have thrown one. But why would he do that? Why would he throw an electro bomb to... Damn, I'm getting really caught up on this question. Oh, is it Kibo's? I think I have the right... Come on. Yeah!
That's wrong!
Guess I'm not as caught up as I thought.
There is a way to disable the alarm system. An electro bomb would take it down.
But Maki only had 1 bomb, and she used it during the raid this morning.
Then the only other person who could have used one is Kokichi, right?
Huh? Why would I use an electro bomb? I had no reason to shut off the alarm, right? I'd be at a disadvantage if I did that.
I guess so. I can't come up with a reason why Kokichi would want to cut the alarm.
But we know the alarm system was neutralized. It had to be. In that case, then...
I've got it! Disabling the alarm system wasn't the real objective.
What?
The main objective of Kokichi using an electro bomb was to disable the remote control to keep Kibo away. Yes, anti-Kibo bomb, go! Disable the press's safety function.
That's it!
Oh, that's why he did it. Okay.
It was to deactivate the safety function on the press.
Deactivate the safety function?
The electro bomb wouldn't have just taken down the alarm system. It also would have disabled the hydraulic press's safety function.
That's true, but why would he do that?
There's only one reason that anyone would want to do that. But if I'm right, it means that we've been thinking about this all wrong.
All wrong?
What aspect of this case runs contrary to new evidence? Kaido's cause of death.
That's it!
That means that Kokichi could have been the one to kill
Kaido's
Kaido.
cause of death.
What?
If the electro bomb was used while Maki was trying to deliver the antidote, maybe Kaito didn't die by poison. It could be something else entirely.
Yes, the cause of death now could now be the hydraulic press.
This is it!
Did he do that to himself,
The
though?
hydraulic press. Kaito could have been killed by the press after all.
What? He could have?
If the safety was off, the press could have crushed Kaito while he was still alive.
Right after I threw the antidote, I tried to open the shutter. So, Kaito should have still been alive.
And if he was crushed by the hydraulic press after that, then we have our cause of death.
If that's the case, it'd mean the one who killed Kaito wasn't Maki.
It would be whoever was operating the hydraulic press. Kokichi.
I see. Very impressive. The hydraulic press could have been the cause of death. But that's just a possibility.
What do you mean?
It's possible that I killed Kaito with the press, but there's no way to know. Kaito's death could have been either the poison arrow or the hydraulic press. Both causes are possible, but you'll never be able to determine it, no matter what.
Is this a huge throwback to Kamaida's case? I feel like it is.
No matter what?
That's not true. We can probably solve this mystery too.
Like the whole unsolvable murder thing, where they practically had to guess.
Right, Shuichi?
Is it really possible to determine Kaido's actual cause of death? It is not possible.
I hate to admit it, but Kokichi is right. We have no way to prove the cause of death.
What did you say?
You can't check the body, and you don't have any conclusive evidence. You can't deduce any more from here on out. There's no way to know what happened. But I know, because I was actually involved.
So that's what you were trying to do. You were trying to commit an unsolvable murder.
Yeah, they're doing a throwback. I think Kamaida's case was also Trial 5, wasn't it?
Do you finally get it? Yep, that was my plan.
I remember at the beginning of the series, I said, was it, or it could have been in the demo, I said he could be like Kamaida's little brother, or he reminds me of him, because he even does the same gestures, says the same things, to an obvious extent. There's two possibilities here. Either A, he's related to Kamaida in some way, like, familial, or B, he's just kind of like how Junko was, and is like a super fanboy. It's kind of hard to tell, or, sorry, not Junko, Monica was for Junko, and was just a super fangirl for Kamaida and Nagito and whatever he did. It's kind of hard to tell, but they have to be related in some way, because he's literally just repeating it, unless they're not in any way, and that's just supposed to throw me off.
The gimmick of this murder case isn't the unknown victim, but rather the unknowable culprit. No one understands but me. Only I know the answer. There's no more room for deduction here. Choose the culprit with your own intuition.
Intuition?
Are you troubled? I'm sure robots don't have intuition, right? But there's nothing you can do about it. This is just how the trial goes. So, who is the culprit? Maki or me?
I'm still gonna guess Kaido, and if I follow the logic of the past game that this is referencing, then that would still be Kaido, because in that one, it was a suicide.
The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off. It's voting time!
Does this actually matter? Does this really, really matter? I'm gonna pick Kaito. That's what I believe. Well, I'm sure it's gonna say whatever no matter what we do.
Hey! That's my line! I'm the one who decides when it's voting time!
Oh, come on. No one's gonna figure out the truth. Let's just vote already. This won't be a problem, right, Monokuma? Because you know who the culprit is, don't you? Just like you always do.
Huh? Yes! Of course!
Yeah? What kind of a reaction is that?
The culprit, you say? Yes! Of course I know!
Hmm? Why do you seem so flustered?
Flustered? Me? What are you talking about?
He's gone nuts. What's going on with Monokuma right now? He seems to be having like a midlife crisis. He might be worried about his placement of games and how his series is slowly dying.
Monokuma? Do you not know who the culprit is either?
Huh? Oh, what do you mean I don't know? What don't I know, huh?
You don't know, do you?
What does this mean? Why doesn't Monokuma know who the culprit is?
Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is either? Monokuma doesn't know. What does that tell us about this case? Wait, this case?
Yes, that's it! So that's what Kokichi's real objective was.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Kokichi wasn't just trying to commit a murder that we couldn't figure out. He was trying to commit a murder that Monokuma couldn't figure out either.
That's so cool. I didn't... Whoa, that's interesting either. But if we already said that he was the mastermind, wouldn't we have already connected the fact that that would mean that he's not? Because Monokuma's acting independently and doesn't know things that Kokichi knows?
A murder Monokuma couldn't figure out?
But what's the point of that? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
But this means he's not.
But consider how many elements of this case would be cleared up. Prior to this case, Monokuma always knew the specific details of each crime, correct? That must mean that he was using some way of monitoring us.
Perhaps there are hidden cameras, strategically placed to avoid our detection.
Oh my god, don't tell me the nanomachine sun bugs from Gonta are a thing.
I can't say for certain, but he must be keeping watch somehow.
And he couldn't see because the... Oh my god. He couldn't see because literal nanomachines.
Kokichi probably used the electro bomb.
Nanomachines, son! God damn it.
The electro bomb would prevent any cameras from sending video wirelessly.
Well, then again, I feel like all the TVs in all those rooms have cameras on them.
Which means it wouldn't matter where the surveillance cameras were hidden.
Like I said, what's the point? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma!
Before we determine that for sure, I want to make one thing clear. If the objective were to create a crime that would stump Monokuma, the exosols... Yes, the exosols weren't protecting Monokuma. They were...
keeping him from leaving. So he couldn't see. Bullying him? They were bullying me, and now I feel insecure about myself. Just because I have two different colors as a bear doesn't mean I can't be like everyone else admiring him. Monokuma-senpai is so cool. They were watching him.
That's it! They were watching Monokuma.
Watching him?
Yes. Remember what Monokuma said earlier in the investigation?
Oh, at the time, the exosouls were on autopilot and directed only to observe me. Yeah, that's what I thought originally.
If they were protecting him like bodyguards, they wouldn't have been facing him. They would have been scanning the area, watching us. But they weren't. That implies that they weren't watching us. They were watching him. They were trying to make sure that Monokuma wouldn't go near the crime
So
scene.
Monokuma is someone else entirely, for sure.
That reminds me. Before I stole an exosol, all 4 units were focused on Monokuma. That's why when I stole one to enter the hangar, the other 3 didn't pursue me.
So Monokuma must have been talking about Maki.
Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the class trial always must be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead. That way it'll be fair to all the participants.
She didn't want to share that information because it would have linked her to the murder. In which case, it could only be Maki.
You're right.
So to summarize this discussion, Kokichi used the electro bomb in the hangar and the exosols to watch Monokuma, thereby creating a scenario in which Monokuma has no idea who the culprit is?
I told you there's no point! Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma!
No, Kokichi might not be controlling Monokuma at all.
What?
But Kokichi's the mastermind, right? Shouldn't he be controlling Monokuma?
Kokichi might not be the mastermind.
Huh, interesting.
What?
I mean, I had that feeling from the beginning that he revealed himself as the mastermind, but...
Remember that the only reason we think that is because Kokichi told us. Monokuma hasn't said a word about that. It's possible that Kokichi is just lying to us.
No way I lied! I'm definitely controlling Monokuma. The mastermind of the killing game is totally me. The one who pitted humanity's last survivors against each other is... all me, baby.
That's right. He's a remnant of despair. How'd we forget that?
I feel like Rantaro's controlling Monokuma.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the mastermind.
I want to link Rantaro to everything wrong. I'm sorry, Rantaro. I'm sorry, Television Rantaro, Ghost Rantaro, TV Rantaro, Skeleton Rantaro, all of you guys, but I want to, like, pin everything on you.
Well, I guess.
Oh, I forgot painting Rantaro
really
and possibly a live clone Rantaro, too.
Well, Monokuma?
I can't answer that without causing problems, because I gotta run this trial fair and square.
Even more reason to give us the answer. If you don't tell us the truth right now, you'll be an accomplice to Kokichi's lies. Does that sound like a fair game? Would you say this class trial is fair?
Yeah, tell us. Is Kokichi the real mastermind or not?
Interesting, because they know that Monokuma is so influenced by Junko's code and her way of thinking that, like, the rules are the rules. Even though it's like despair and everything, and that's what the whole point of this is, rules are set in place, and because Junko set them, they're the most important thing in the world. So it would force him to tell us. I really think it's kind of cool how he's portrayed, is all I'm saying.
No need to think about it. You're being way too forward, you know?
Aren't you normally the forward one?
Ah!
I mean, I don't mind, because that's probably part of your strategy, too. But in the interest of fairness, I suppose it's time to tell the truth.
Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me.
Unlike the lies you love so much, the truth should be impartial to everyone.
And what is that truth?
I'm not being controlled by Kokichi, because he's not the mastermind.
Is that really true?
Kokichi was just messing with you. I never once said he was the mastermind.
Then it was all Kokichi's lie?
Yeah, that is what that would mean. With the key from the last motive, he was the first to learn the truth of the outside world. Based on his deductions, he fabricated a lie to make you all think he was the mastermind.
But that makes me wonder, how did he get control of the Exosouls unless that key let him into the Exosoul hangar?
I see. Kokichi's own deductions.
Do you want to know? Then I'll tell you. I'm getting kind of bored with all the lying, so everything I say now will be the truth, Kay.
His deductions got a lot of details right, though. Pretty impressive, honestly.
But what about the Exosols? If Kokichi wasn't the mastermind, how'd he control them so easily?
He just used Mew's remote control, right?
Her what? Mew's remote control?
So the remote that Kokichi was using was made by Mew?
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. If Mew made a remote control to control the Exosols, then why would she turn around and try to murder us to get out?
Oh, you didn't know? Mew not only invented the electro bomb and the electro hammer, she also made a remote control that can hijack any electronic device.
Mew, why are you such an idiot? Why are you such a genius idiot?
Kokichi just slapped a receiver on each of the Exosols and took them for a spin.
Hey, isn't it a bit unfair to tell them all that?
Fairness has nothing to do with it. I offered up that info purely out of spite. Spite towards you for trying to usurp the mastermind's role and take over the game.
Well, whatever. It's way more interesting to defeat an enemy who plays dirty anyway.
What's going on? It seems like they're actually fighting.
There's no doubt about it. Kokichi isn't
the way
the
that
mastermind.
Kokichi and Monokuma talk it's like they're brothers or something. Like they're close to each other.
Were we just being dragged around by Kokichi's lies the whole time?
Pretty much. Nothing's changed from the beginning.
What were you trying to accomplish by pretending to be the mastermind, Kokichi?
Yeah! Now you're gonna be all quiet?
Then if he's not the mastermind, who is?
Why are you so certain there's even a mastermind to begin with?
What?
What do you mean?
Why, that's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
But I wanna know!
The real mastermind is not Kokichi. Who could it be? I was thinking it was Junko Enoshima, but that can't be it. She died like 8 times. She's dead. We've never come into contact with her. So, who's done this? Who planned this killing game?
Anyway, this conversation has flown off the rails. Let's get things back on track. This class trial is to figure out who the culprit is, not the mastermind. So, yeah, get to talking.
I agree. Before we worry about who the mastermind is or what my intent is, let's figure out the culprit!
But Monokuma doesn't know who it is. How is he supposed to confirm the results?
We don't need to worry about that. Let's just leave the decision-making to Monokuma.
What?
But you gotta run the class trial too. So no mistakes, okay?
Are you trying to get me to do something?
You've been watching us solve all these cases, but you can't be a spectator anymore. You're gonna participate in the class trial from here on out.
What?
So, let's resume this class trial. Monokuma, you gotta use your brain too.
Are you serious? He's gonna be one of...
This will be the final class trial. Me versus Monokuma.
You versus Monokuma?
When I play a game, I intend to win. But what's considered winning in this game? Beating the other players? No. Beating the game's mastermind is the true victory. And that's how I'll win! That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma! If I can deceive Monokuma till the very end, then I'll be the winner!
I really enjoy this dynamic right now.
You're dragging us around like this? Just so you can win a game?
As I said, it seems like something like a best friend or like a dumb brother would do, where they're gonna go like any extent to win a stupid game.
As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic.
But since the outside world is in total ruin, this game is the only entertainment we have. At least I can enjoy this game to the fullest and feel good winning.
You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic.
Remnant of despair? Whatevs. Let's just get this started. If the students or Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the winner.
Don't underestimate me, or Shuichi and the others for that matter.
What? Is Monokuma standing up for? This is weird. This is super weird. One thing I have taken notice of, though, is Kokichi doesn't really seem to know anything about hope and despair or what any of that even means.
It's just like a remnant of despair to try to assume control of the game. But these kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. If you think they're gonna make this easy for you, you better think again.
Whose side are you taking here?
Side? Isn't it obvious? Monokuma joins your party!
This is amazing!
Who invited
Did
you?
that just say Ultimate Despair Hamster? I didn't see what that said. Or was it just Hamster, Harbinger, Harvester? I was so busy laughing I couldn't even see what that said on the screen.
Now, let's join forces and unravel the truth behind this case.
Alright, buddy.
Well, we were going to do it anyway.
Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension.
Yeah! Let's just focus on the case!
Hey, be quiet so we can ignore you.
Now, where should we start? We've already established what Kokichi is after.
Monokuma's first time playing the game.
He's just gonna keep talking anyway, isn't he?
In my experience, whenever you learn a new fact, you learn something else along with it.
Yes, let's look for that.
You warmed up to him real fast. I guess you are both robots.
So another truth comes out. What piece of evidence makes more sense now? The evidence that I couldn't wrap my head around. What? If Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is, what evidence needs to be analyzed again? The murder video?
This is it!
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press. Kokichi said that he filmed that video to prove he was not the victim. But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma. So what about the video?
Yeah, would Monokuma even know if that video was edited or not?
It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you after all.
Then what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
Maybe he crushed Kaito with a hydraulic press, so the cause of death would be unknown?
But if that were the only objective, there would be no need to film it. Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film.
That's true.
I guess you're starting to fit in after all. If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you.
Huh? Really?
There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed.
I think Himiko's a nice comic relief character for the end of the game, because she actually has a character behind her, which makes her more interesting. I think that's the number one thing I don't really like in games, and a lot of people don't really agree with me like this, but comic relief characters with no backstory are just, ugh. I don't even want them in the game, honestly. That's how I felt about Bienfu and, like, Berseria. There are better examples, like, I think, Teddy and Morgana are perfect examples of, like, mascot/comic relief characters that have a purpose and a backstory. I don't like it when a character's just there for gags, and that's it. No other reason.
No reason, really. That's just my twisted personality.
You're lying again, Kokichi. There's a method to your madness. If you wanted Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video, it must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Taking the video of a murder, but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it show? What doesn't it show? I don't know why I sound so charismatic. My name is now Sexy Suichi. I don't know. Wait, what's the question? What can't be identified even after watching the dead body footage? I don't know. What? Wick? I don't even know where to begin. Time? No, not time. I'm gonna guess W. No, not W. V. What? Vital? Oh. Shit, that's not good. Video. Oh, video. V-I-D-E-O-S. Videos? Wait, there's no D here. Victim? Oh, that's right, the victim. Yeah, I did it. I'm a smart. Oh, those are... I feel like an idiot. Those are totally M's and not W's, aren't they? Show me an M. They just go by the screen so fast.
The victim.
Huh?
Is it even possible? No, that's a question for later. For now, we know that...
If you show the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died. Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim. And that might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean the victims were switched?
Switched?
Wait, is it possible that Kokichi faked it and pretended to drink the antidote and then gave it to Kaito and let himself die?
Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
What?
Where would he even get another body?
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
If there was an unknown body, then we could guess the victim was switched.
Yeah, that always reminds me, where do the bodies from the class trials actually go? That's something that they never really bring up. I'm assuming that Junko just, like, throws them in a... Well, no, because Junko did... In the first game, she had all those freezers with the bodies in them. You guys did remind me of that, so... I don't remember if that's where the bodies of the deceased students were, but...
But too bad. Switching the victims was impossible.
You have to keep replaying that video.
The footage showed the body being crushed. When in the footage would they have been able to switch the victim?
But you said you had a pause button on the camera. That means you can pause it and record again.
And we already established that the footage was not doctored in any way. The camera doesn't have any editing functions. Just play, record, and pause. Monokuma also said that no computer was used to edit the footage. Remember?
Damn it! Me and my big mouth!
Which means switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive.
Like, Monokuma joining us is it's like the equivalent of Vegeta coming to help us kill Frieza. Oh my god, Kokichi kind of is like a weird... I guess he's not like Frieza, because he's not like prideful and dumb.
We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is impossible.
It might be possible.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
Like the pause button on the camera.
Oh, and what trick is that? See? You don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done. So we can't just give up here.
Like, I don't... How do I say this? It feels like Kokichi is putting a lot of emphasis to let us know that there's a pause button on that.
Hey, Shuichi. I'll think harder about this as well. So, can you confirm whether or not the victims switch places? If Kaito is... alive or not?
Maki.
I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Okay then. Let's talk about the possibility that Makiro mentioned.
Himiko, if you call her that again...
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Let's all talk it over together.
Together. Hey there, buddy. Just to let you know, I probably will die in the next 24 hours. Could you bring me, like, a burrito or something, just in case I die? Don't forget about... Wait, why do you say I was too busy talking about burritos? Don't forget you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only gonna wear you out. When times are hard, you gotta rely on your friends.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
That's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
If we could figure that out, maybe we'd know how they switched places.
I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time. Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
Very suspicious, Himiko. A trick to that video. What could it be? What's suspicious about it? Non-stop debate.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out.
I see you're fitting in
There
just
is no
fine.
trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
Like he was on top of an
Person in that
exisal.
video. Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Could it? Another possibility that just popped into my mind. Samuki said she couldn't cosplay people who are real. Is it possible for her to cosplay dead people though?
That the video was shot at another location?
Any other bright ideas? Come on, everybody, speak up!
I feel like someone said something that gives us a clue. If we put our heads together, we can find the smallest hope. I won't fall into despair. Or we won't.
Must be some trick
I
to
won't.
that video.
Hydraulic press. The hydraulic press controls are a short distance away from the device itself. There are two buttons labeled up and down. Oh, so even if he didn't... Interesting. It also features a safety function. The body was crushed. Is that what it wants me to bring up? The fact that it has an up and down button?
When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Got it.
I agree.
Woo! Doing better now. Even though I actually don't know what point I'm trying to bring up.
Kibo is onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic press...
Oh, it's right. It just went straight
Yes,
down.
right.
But the video,
The hydraulic press
it's like
keeps
it.
lowering itself without stopping.
It's like in the video, it went down and then stopped and then slams down really fast.
But in the video...
I didn't think that looked odd though. Like the way that was depicted just made it look like.
The hydraulic press stopped briefly, right before it crushed the body.
Like that's the thing in the video that doesn't make sense to me is because I just assumed that was it touched Kaido and it's like it was applying like a little more pressure and then it just went like full pressure because it realized it needed more. But hydraulic presses don't really work like that. They just push with the same pressure all the way down.
But why would it stop?
Why did the person... Wait, why did the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of. I'm gonna wait till I see all the options. The outside terminal, that would make sense. What is that? Oh, the buttons. Someone pushed the up and down button on the control panel. Oh, wait, that's in the way? Clear!
I see it! The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
I completely forgot about that.
an electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
Wait, what? So, it doesn't disable all electronics if the button works.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
That's true.
There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
While the camera was rolling.
Oh, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Huh? Huh? What do you mean?
If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic
Like the camera
press.
with the pause button that I can't believe no one has brought up. Yes, I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. If you stopped that, you could have swatched? You could have swatched the bodies easily. There's my camera. What's this thing over here? Oh, it's an electro hammer. Wait, why am I looking for a hidden Monokuma? I got one earlier on the racetrack, I believe. Oh, god damn it. I got it in one of the other earlier mini games. So I don't have to worry about that anymore, actually.
The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously. So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment.
It's interesting because Kokichi didn't, or whoever's in the Exisal, didn't have to tell us that there was a pause function on the camera. Like, no one would have known. I mean, maybe Monokuma would have known because he's the one who put everything here, but he didn't bother to lie about that. Or she, whoever's in there.
That's what I've been saying this whole time!
When did you ever say that?
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? Why?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely.
Let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up? Well, if the hydraulic press is here, on top of the Exisal, maybe it's set up on one of the Exisals. It's pretty far away. You wouldn't be able to stop them both at the same time.
I was wrong!
Oh, it's staring at me. Well, I guess that's it, guys. Throw away all the information we found so far. Even though I was helping you, I'm ready to throw you in the dumpster.
We can't let it end here!
Regardless of all the information we've collected thus far. Well, if that's too far... I need to look at a picture of the thing again, but I would say it's up here, I guess. It looked like it was farther up here, but the paint arm, no. I guess I'll have to say up here.
There!
Really? It looked farther away to me than that, but...
The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here. To operate the press and the camera at the same time, you would have to be near the switch.
Oh, I thought you could just put the camera on like a timer.
That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then that proves the trick was used.
But if the bodies are switched, that means that they would have worked together, because there's no way Kaido could have done all that by himself. And that means Kaido would have had to lay in the press himself and then get up to push the button.
Camera angles, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful.
Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class trials.
Yeah, I love how some people have these ridiculous talents that will never come up for any reason.
There was a reason the camera was set up there, but also a reason for the height. When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct? That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position, so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height.
Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D pocket.
You don't get to make that reference.
Then, that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press. In that case, Kaito is...
Before he was crushed by the press, he was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive!
But that doesn't mean he's alive, because of the poison.
Well, wait just a minute.
What? But I just summed it up so nicely.
Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he... Wait, the mastermind?
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so... I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What?
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Very well, I'll answer that.
You're giving in pretty easy.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair. This discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit was allowed to do, right?
You're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time.
Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body. That is impossible! All the dead bodies have already been thrown away.
What?
Thrown away?
The other bodies are... gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with?
Kokichi and Kaido were the only ones in the hangar at the time. If they were the only ones present during the body swapping trick, then the real victim was the other person in the hangar, the mastermind, the third party. Are all of these right? It couldn't have been the mastermind, or we wouldn't have a trial. Yeah, I suppose it was pretty dumb on my part to choose that. There were only two people in the hangar, Kaido and Kokichi. I can't believe it either, but that's the only possibility. Okay, whatever. The third party, the other person in the hangar. I thought the third party we were talking about was Maki. But no, the shutter was closed by then. Maki couldn't have gotten in. Wow, Zeno, you're a freaking idiot. There's no possibility it was a third party. If there were no other bodies, then how the hell? How in tarnation? Southern Maki. I can't believe it either, but that's the only possibility. The other person in the hangar. Oh, I'm surprised it didn't say Kaido. If it wasn't an old body, it could only be...
What's wrong, Shuichi? Who did Kaito switch places with?
Maki, I think I missed something very important here.
Something important?
If I have the timeline right, there were only two people in the hangar at the time. Which means that something had to have been decided before. I have to pin that down. I can't let anything escape me this time. Oh my god. It's gotta be like seesaw rope way. I have no idea what that would start with. V-I-C-T-I-M. Okay, victim again. Okay, victim... C. No. Victim... No. Victim... D? No. God damn it. Victim... How are the bodies swapped if only 2 people in the hangar? Victim... I don't know. I really don't know. No? Oh my goodness. This is going to destroy me. Just trying to think here. Oh, I haven't seen the H yet. Victim what? Ha? Victim... Hep? No. Victim head... Ha... Victim helped? Where's that P? P... E... D. Yeah, I got it.
What do you mean? There were only 2 people in the hangar at the time the bodies were swapped. Which means they were working together.
Huh? Working together?
The only 2 people involved in the swap were the victim and the culprit. The culprit was operating the camera and the hydraulic press, while the victim lay inside. If they switched places while the press and the camera were stopped, then the person who turned the camera and the press back on was the original victim.
Wait, what? Was Kaito trying to trap us?
To put it simply, both people operated the press and camera at different times. An impossible trick, unless the victim and culprit agreed to cooperate beforehand.
The victim and culprit cooperated? Is that even possible?
That means Kaito's the one in the Exisal right now.
It sounds bizarre, but perhaps that was the whole point. Commit a crime that was so confusing, even Monokuma would be tricked.
Jeez, this culprit's a real jerk. So, have you realized who done it yet?
The culprit of the case. My detective work hasn't failed me. The culprit is inside that Exisal. It can only be them. Wow. My question is why? Why go through all the trouble?
The victim we saw in the video was Kaito, which means...
So Kokichi died under the press.
Kokichi was operating the hydraulic press and camera at first. If the 2 of them switched while the press was stopped, then the culprit who started the hydraulic press again and crushed Kokichi must be Kaito.
Which means Kaito's a lot better of an actor than I thought.
So, the person inside that Exisal isn't Kokichi. It has to be Kaito.
What did you say?
I love how the
So
name just changed to
culprit for
Exisal.
this case is Kaito Momota. That is what the ultimate detective has deduced, right?
Kaito is the culprit? What? You're joking, right? You can't be serious.
Wow, that was some weird voice acting.
I don't want to believe it either, but it's the only way any of this makes sense. My detective work has led me to the conclusion that Kaito is the culprit.
Is that true? Is Kaito really in there?
Hey, answer us! If you really are Kaito, then...
I'm the culprit.
Huh?
There's just no way that Kaito can still be alive. Because I'm the culprit.
Wait, you? But didn't you say...
I saw it with my own eyes. Kokichi drank the antidote that he stole from Kaito. There's no doubt Kaito died. And he died because of my poison arrow.
But you told us you didn't want to kill Kaito and...
Yes, I never wanted to. I wanted to believe that I didn't kill him. But the truth speaks differently. In the end, I was just running away from the facts.
Huh? I don't understand.
Maki, are you trying to protect Kaito? If he's the culprit, you're trying to help him get away?
There was only one antidote, so it's more likely he died from my poison arrow. This is the truth.
It's not decided yet. I could have still killed him with the hydraulic press. Either way, those are the two options. Monokuma knows the answer, right?
Huh? Are those the only options?
I guess that's how things turned out.
No, that can't be. The person in that exisal is...
It's not Kaito! I saw Kokichi drink the antidote! There's no mistake. Kaito is dead. I killed Kaito. There is absolutely no doubt. That's the truth.
Yeah, because even there's no win to this situation. Oh, I thought so. Maki's trying to protect Kaito. I understand how she feels, but if Kaito's the culprit, why did he agree to Kokichi's plan? I can't imagine that Kaito would do something so selfish. There must be a reason for it. I truly believe that... But I have to get to the bottom of this before I can uncover the truth.
But, Maki, you don't know for certain that Kokichi drank the antidote.
What?
You saw him drink it right in front of you, but you couldn't confirm he actually did it. So maybe there's another possibility.
What are you talking about?
That's a new sprite. That's like a mixture of her I'm gonna kill you sprite and her surprise sprite.
Impossible. That's impossible.
All clear. You see her Kivo echoing in the background, and he's like, it's all clear. Oh.
There is no other possibility. I killed Kaito.
Oh. Oh, that is so cool.
I killed Kaito. You're the one who's
I like
wrong.
hers the best so far.
He died from my poison arrow. There's no other possibility. What do you know? I killed Kaito! You're the one who's wrong. It doesn't matter what you say. I'm telling you, this is the truth.
It's not.
But you keep getting in the way. You're so goddamn
I really
annoying.
she likes Kaito, but I'm surprised she doesn't care for
say.
Suichi enough to the point where she's just like,
I'm telling you,
I'd
this
rather
is the
Suichi
truth.
die than Kaito.
I was at the scene. So
She
I
like
know
Kaito
I'm
that
not
much?
wrong. I'm sorry I kept quiet till now. I wanted to believe I didn't kill him. But I won't
I
run
forgot
away
about
from
this.
the truth anymore.
Oh my god, it got so fast.
I know what I saw. I was at the scene. So I know I'm not wrong. I'm sorry I kept quiet till now. I wanted to believe I didn't kill him. But I won't run away from the truth anymore. Because I know what I saw. I was at the scene. So I know I'm not wrong.
And there she goes.
I saw Kokichi drink the antidote.
Pretended to drink the antidote.
It ends here.
Sorry, Maki. You're gonna have to give me fan service now. That's actually kind of weird. Never mind. I take it back. Just be cute, like normal.
Kokichi just pretended to drink the antidote. He didn't actually drink it.
He pretended to drink it?
Drinking the antidote was part of his lie. Maki could only see so much through the window. She didn't confirm Kokichi drank it. I believe that Kokichi knew this and just pretended to drink the antidote. After Maki left, he gave the antidote to Kaito. There's a strong possibility that all of this was done to make Kaito cooperate.
Make him cooperate?
The swapping trick required the victim and culprit to work together. Kaito's cooperation was essential to Kokichi's plan. However, I don't think Kokichi would be able to sway Kaito easily. He needed leverage. He gave Kaito the antidote in exchange for his cooperation.
In exchange for his own life, you mean?
Kaito had no choice. He had to cooperate after Kokichi saved his life. That's just Kaito's character, and Kokichi knew that. He swallowed his pride with the antidote and agreed to participate in Kokichi's plan.
But didn't Kokichi make this plan? What good is it for him if he's dead?
I imagine this was all part of Kokichi's plan to confuse us. You wouldn't think that someone would plan their own murder.
He went so far as to give up his life, just to create this mystery?
Only Kokichi could think of something so nefarious.
But why would he do all this? He wouldn't even be here to see it.
Who else would agree to die just to execute their plan?
Kamaito would, and now I think about it, yeah, okay, never mind. He would totally do this.
That's crazy. Why would he go that far?
But does that mean just like Kamaito, he's doing it for a good reason?
I bet Kokichi was determined to beat me at my own game, no matter what.
Oh, perhaps that's the only reason.
But too bad. Shuichi figured out the truth.
I'm gonna take credit for this anyway.
Truth? Are you sure it's not delusion?
Delusion?
A delusion completely off the mark. To make you think that I died. But who cares what you guys think? This is between me and Monokuma. I don't give a crap if the extras in this game get it right or not.
Extras?
I'm fine with being an extra.
Huh? Why?
If we're just extras, then even if we get it wrong, we won't get killed.
No, I'd still kill you all. Don't put Kokichi's words in my mouth.
But why? You're being so friendly with us.
Himiko has been betrayed. In this trial, she went through a short love and a short friendship.
If Monokuma gets it right, then he takes everyone's lives, yeah? But if Monokuma gets it wrong, then he'd have no right to take everyone's lives. If Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is, then this killing game can't function anymore.
Can't function anymore.
Kaito, I believe in you.
If you're cooperating with this plan, you must have a reason. To determine that reason, I need to reveal the
I
truth.
still think Kaito is the culprit. Thinking of it that way makes all the pieces fit. I will show you the truth. The truth you can't deny.